Starting on approximately page 65, board member and employee expense resolution.
Okay, so,
Let's go with the resolution and get a second, and then we'll hear what it's about.
Can read it, Matt.
Who would like to read?
Gotta read it.
It's on page
Resolved that the
66.
Board of Education Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby approves the attached resolution from District Legal Counsel to be in compliance with Board Policy 2:125 Board Member Expenses and 5:60 Expenses as presented in the February 14th, 2017 Board Agenda Packet.
Second.
Second, Mr. Walsh. Thank you, Mr. Cindy. Okay, Dr. Skikas, what's this all about?
okay, and, back in December, the first read of the press packet, and then we approved in January, one of the new policies that came out under January 1st, some of the new laws that were in place, was what they call the MAR, or the maximum amount of reimbursables for like board members. And as I discussed with you back in January, a lot of this legislation came out after it was becoming public that board members or some district employees in other suburban districts were using like district credit cards for personal expenses and you know, eating lavish dinners down at conferences or places that far exceeded what, you know, traditional expectations would be for a public official using school district funds. So a law was passed that where you had to pass a resolution annually. So our practice, and now some of this is coming clear to you, the practice we're going to use that I recommended in January is that when we approve the annual budget, we'll approve the maximum amount of reimbursables every year. But to be in compliance from now until we approve the FY 18 budget, we needed to pass this resolution. So this is from Brian Crawley at Franzik. It's a general resolution. Now the one thing is that the maximum amount of reimbursable expenses for the board members also serves as a threshold for employees. So that's why it says compliance with 5:60. So if you remember, we set like a threshold of $60 a day for meal reimbursement and not to exceed $1,500 in a year. I had, Tim Walsh had submitted a question asking Scott to run a summary of that, of how many people we get reimbursed. We reimburse either employees or board members for meals or miles. We have no one close to the $1,500 threshold. And I think we have, what's a total of like maybe 10 or 12 names on the list.
Yes.
We have a paper copy if the board does want to see that.
And I would say for the public, as far as the board goes, I mean, I've never seen a credit
Are there
card.
any board member reimbursables? I don't think.
Yeah,
I
no.
think
Not on last year's.
Yeah.
not on last year. I think on this year, I think I maybe had one or two parking reimbursements from when they were down at AAA.
So
All
the
minor
public
stuff.
knows we're
Yeah.
not having lavish meals.
This is more or less a state requirement.
I haven't seen anything lavish
Yeah.
pass before my eyes.
No, matter of fact, I
lavish.
think for the last 5 years that I've been your 4 years of the 6 years I've been your superintendent, I think we had lunch at the Billy Goat. So we're not having a lavish.
Not
And we allowed you to have chips with your burger.
There you go.
And extra pickles, so.
So the one thing I did realize, and I did call the attorney on, is, you know, this is for individual expenses. So most of the reimbursables that we were issuing were to employees that were like a head coach took a team to state.
Doesn't that count?
And so we checked our procedures, and as long as they follow some of the procedures we have in place, they submit a check request, get the money up front. If they want to deposit that money into their credit card or into their bank account, use their credit card, and then submit us all the receipts and the money they don't use, as long as they're not fronting the money and us reimbursing them, we're okay.
Okay.
And so we have a procedure in place for that. So we just need to make sure that that's being followed accordingly every time. But anything that was close to the $1,500 or over the $1,500 threshold was all teams and clubs
Okay.
related for kids.
That's
so
what
it
I-
wasn't anything with an individual employee going on multiple trips or having lavish dinners or anything like that.
Okay.
So I think $1,500 is a good threshold.
Okay, do we have a motion pending?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go for the vote.
Dr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Cindy?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Mr. Jefferson?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.